the thing that makes your case against Harvard, I want to get into it quickly, but the thing that makes your case, I want people to understand, so important, is that it stands to be the first prosecutable case against an industry, a foundation, which which is Harvard, that they said that these pictures that were taken against a person who had no rights, these pictures that were used to make millions upon tens of millions of dollars, were not that person's property. These pictures where he was stripped down and taken of his clothes, and the family says all they asked Harvard to say, I don't want the money, I just want the pictures back. Harvard said no. Harvard said no, and when they said no, what they did unknowingly was set about, and this is why your case is so important, the case that sets the standard for what could become our argument for reparations, because there's no denying that what happened was beyond every law possible. And them refusing to give those pictures back, they had no rights. They had no right to take the pictures but they felt like the person had no rights. And so they're still saying the person had no rights. And your winning of this case sets the platform for what could be a multi-trillion-dollar argument for our people.
Absolutely. And to try to frame it just very simply, this picture, literally, these slave pictures are believed to be some of the earliest photographs taken in America, and certainly they believe the earliest photographs of African slaves ever taken. They call them daguerreotypes, and that was the first time they were having photographs. So Harvard has possession of them. Miss Lanier traced her roots, and they can prove that Papa Renty is their grandfather through all these probate files and all this family history. And all they're saying, Kenya, is exactly what the Jews said after the Holocaust. You all were able to recover everything that was rightfully yours after this immoral, this unethical dynamic called the Holocaust. Why can't Black people recover our rights? And if the courts allow this landmark decision to go through, which we believe is going to be, because we're on the right side of history, Kenya Barris,
right.
and we know this. And once we have that precedence, they teach us in first year law school, precedence is the key. Once you have precedence, we want the laws to be consistent. And therefore, the fact that we know Harvard is going to be embarrassed over and over again as they try to defend the indefensible, because their professor was trying to prove the inferiority of Black people when he stripped Renty down naked, because he was a pure African. He didn't have any white blood in him. And he wanted to show that we were more prone to agrarian work, and we were more prone to be in the fields and so forth. So he stripped his daughter Delia down, and you see a tear in her eye when she's naked, being made to stand in front of these white men while they take pictures of her to prove her inferiority as a human being. But yet these photographs are their family photographs. And Harvard is saying, no, you don't have a right to these pictures. So 150 years later, they're saying Renty still isn't free. Renty still is a slave. So we're going to get Harvard to give these pictures back, and that is going to lay the first case for reparations in America, because it will be the first time that descendants of slaves have ever recovered anything from an American institution based on slavery.
Say that again. Say that again. It would be
the first time that descendants of slaves have ever received any form of reparation of any kind from an American institution.
That is profound. We could talk about this for hours. That